Guys, we're live.
Got to balance out the booze.
Aren't you excited for this? I'm excited for this.
He is. He was
Always
there
excited
at the.
for this.
Anthony was there in the inception for this, was he not?
Yeah,
That's true.
I came up with the name. God damn it!
I thought Chris did.
I mean, it was so long ago. Who cares? It's not important. It's been a few years. Who cares?
I know it has been a few years, right? And the original concept was we were gonna all get together on this because I was still doing my podcast of Video Game Crosstalk, and there's gonna be like a super group podcast. And the first movie, swear to God, was supposed to be Morbius.
Was it?
That was supposed to be the impetus.
And that I only watched recently, like
maybe
a month or two ago.
Well, it got delayed like 20 times.
Yeah, it's
right.
Also true.
That's crazy. We may have to do an if you can get the freedom from. I know you have children. I know you have a wife.
Yeah, I mean,
it's called executive approval.
You just abandon them. That's all you have to do.
Oh no. Why Anthony stayed married? If he ended up divorced, he ended up living with one of us. Yeah. You wanted to have Italian living with you? No.
My house isn't that large.
You're living eating spaghetti in his underwear. You don't want that. We don't be happy.
Do we have an intro?
He might do that now. We do. You know what? I'll drop the intro now before I say.
Yeah, we should do an intro.
We'll be right back, people.
I gotta do all the retweets.
Hello out there, world. How are you doing? How are you doing? Happy New Year. Happy 2023. Popcorn and Pints is back, baby. New episode. New year. Yes. And we got a guest. 1UPSTATE. A celebration of games. And the people who make them, our boy. Our guy. We love him. Rossi. He's half of the dynamic duo, Pizza and Pasta. He's Pasta. And we're just happy to have him. We're happy to not only review this movie with him, but learn more about this. And this is where we're at. This is the capital region where we all grew up at, where we live at. So it's really dope. Tune in. Tune in. Stay put, as a matter of fact, because as soon as I button it up, we're all going to start talking again. As soon as I shut the fuck up. So with that said, episode 109 of Popcorn and Pints. Again, Happy New Year to all of you. Get ready for this. It's going to be a great time with some great people. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Popcorn and Pints. And make sure you guys go check out 1UPSTATE all over the place because it's dope. Facebook, I know they got a Facebook. They got a website. You need to be there. Links are in the description. Let's start the show. Beep, 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 beep. Press play.
Who are you supposed to be? Master Bates?
No, that was I don't know who that was.
I told you, man, I'm ready to roll right here. That's
Dude,
I'm not getting up unless I desperately.
Dude, I got so much alcohol like inches away from me. It's ridiculous.
See,
I got the Kraken. I got Jimmy Bean. I got peanut butter whiskey. I got fucking Blue Ranger IPAs. I love it. It's my favorite, man.
So the dog thoroughly enjoys it when he puts it downstairs.
What are you sipping over there, Anthony?
Off the rails already.
What's up? Sorry, I'm like doing a bunch of things at the same time. I have not logged into my Twitch account in so long. I had to like reset my password, and now I need to do like a whole like, hey, we're going to send a security measure code to your email account. So now I got to. Jesus Christ. Good evening, guys.
It's called being prepared.
Yeah, and clearly I am not. Oh, don't you guys worry. So I am like right all up in this. So
we still love him though. He's a dad.
He's the reason Aaron and I met.
He is, which is a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing, and your friendship has bloomed and blossomed, and it's just it's a lovely thing. It's been a beautiful thing to watch, to see you embrace each other's creative efforts. We'll say that.
I like where you're going with this.
I'll accept that. I heard the undertone there, but I'll accept it and ignore it.
That's probably the most appropriate way you could say it.
Yep.
I dig it.
It works. It works.
Embrace each other. Embrace your creative efforts.
At the con we met at, when me and Chris first day we met, we were talking, and I felt like Anthony was going to spank us because he told us that we had to calm down with what we were talking about. I don't remember what it was, but it was something crazy.
Yeah, seriously, like I'm trying to put on some type of like professional show here, and these chuckle fucks are doing all sorts of horrible things.
We're just sitting. We're just sitting.
Oh, God damn it!
We're just sitting at the table, just all immediately go into joke mode, like we're good friends that are just hanging out again.
But he only had to yell at us one time. That's all it took. Because, like, I swear to you guys, it was like this.
I had one of those today. That's delicious.
And he was holding his waist like this, and he had a belt on. And we all know what that means. When a parent's holding that belt, next time they say something, the belt coming off. That's it. That's what we're talking about. I didn't want to feel that, and neither did Chris.
I know, and I had been drinking. So. I still, dude, that was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, though, to try to go introduce yourself to Lou Ferrigno as Black Hulk, and you didn't do it.
I'll tell you what, if I get that opportunity again, I'll do it.
Yeah,
Don't worry, Chris. I would do it. I'll go up there and say, I'm Black Hulk.
That's not gonna be. That's just gonna be awkward.
Wait, no, it's not. I go back. He is.
Now, Aaron, you gotta go. If you go up and do it, you gotta say, "My wife calls me Black Hulk."
Hey, now
that's totally different.
Yeah, but I think we needed some dangerous water. Possibly. For you guys, I mean,
this is pretty much a video game themed episode. Aaron or James and I were talking about Elden Ring for 20 minutes before we even started. But there's a reason Anthony is here.
A very important reason.
I like to think so.
So, for people watching, why don't we go into what 1UPSTATE is a little bit, and then before we get into movie review.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure how you guys wanted to swing this.
I don't know. We're drunk and we just do whatever we want.
This show is random.
Yeah,
there's no segments.
100. No,
I know. Like I didn't get a read ahead before this. You know, I don't have a written out agenda. I don't have a priority list. Christ Almighty.
That sounds like a lot of work. Who
does
that?
See, this is the freestyle one. This is the type of show that gets you prepared for when someone's just like, Andy, we need you right now. And you're like, I don't have any notes. You just go there, boom, you're right. Which I'm sure you're right,
man. These are like the best kind of podcasts. Like,
was I not on mute for that?
No, not really. I was gonna keep going.
All right.
Oh shit.
But that's the thing. Like, if I'm ever on someone else's podcast, it's great because all I have to do is just like show up and be charming. Like that's all you have to do. Like, what are we going to talk about? Doesn't matter. I'm the guest. I'm just going to show up and I'm just going to do like whatever. And yeah, so no agenda. That's fine. I'll just rock and roll with whatever you guys want to talk about. So you want to talk about the event first?
Yep.
Well, what's 1UPSTATE first, I guess.
Okay.
If anybody watching doesn't know.
So 1UPSTATE, a celebration of games and the people who make them. It's becoming what's that? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Hi, Chris. Hi.
If everybody's cool, I could say it's not too late. But that's it.
I mean, all right. So this is Chris Spahn. He's actually one of the staff members helping to organize this, and he is part of Griff Kuba Game Services. So they help out with hosting different wikis and some back-end game development. And right now, I don't believe it's been fully released, but they are helping out with an indie game called Seekers of Ether. And it's kind of like it's an isometric view indie RPG.
Okay.
So yeah, it looks some cool stuff. So the full story of 1UPSTATE is like a few years back, just before the plague descended upon us all. I was watching I remember it was like the Bethesda E3 presser. And I was thinking to myself, like, there's a bunch of game devs and studios in the capital region. Like, has anyone thought of doing our own little expo? What's going on? And I posted this in this group called the Tech Valley Game Space. And these are like, it's just an awesome group of people. They're located in Troy, New York. And it is located inside what's called the Tech Valley Center of Gravity. Very similar name. No, they are not related. And the game space is basically a 501c3 organization where they do a lot of community development and workforce development through game development. So they offer classes, they do coursework, they do social nights, they do game jams. They're really heavy into what's called the Ludum Dare, which it takes place, I want to say in November. Griff Kuba and Twitch, if you can correct me on that, when Ludum Dare typically takes place. And that's like a 48-hour game jam. Like you have 48 hours, make a game.
Oh, wow.
Go, whatever it is, you just make a game. And that's where a lot of indie devs kind of do their thing.
Wow.
So I posted it in their Facebook group. And as it turns out, Griff Kuba in Twitch, he is one of the people who was on the staff to initially develop 1UPSTATE several years prior. So there's already like some momentum for this. They just needed to get it going again. And that's where I was like, yo, I will be your Jeff Keighley ordered off of Wish if you want to have this go through. Like, I will do it. I will be your low budget Jeff Keighley. And Chris saying April and October with a surprise one going, oh, there's one going on this weekend. All right. Cool. All right. Thanks for the info. So I posted this like a few years back. And that's basically how it started up. So I just like went into it and met with the people. And this has been in development for like far too long. But the plague descended upon us. And I thought I'd be able to do it in August of last year. But then one of the variants, I think it was the Delta variant, started rearing its ugly head. And we're like, we really need to take our time with this, and we really need to think this out and put it through. So 2+ years later, my God, has it been that long? Pushing that long. And recently I was finally able to lock down a date and location. So 1UPSTATE is going to be a game developer conference held at the Albany Capitol Center. Yes, Griff Kuba. We definitely needed more time to get our ducks in a row. I kind of work at a really hell-paced breakneck sprint all the time, and people are like, you need to calm your ass down. You're making this way too complicated. You're making this way too formal. You're going way too fast. You need to settle your shit.
Hey, I saw a good meme just the other day. Every dead body on Mount Everest was once a highly motivated person.
So maybe you should calm down just a tad. Yeah, I needed to hear that a few times, and Griff Kuba was definitely the one to say, like, how about you not? You're just not.
Coming from guys that have known you for a few years, Anthony, I know Chris would love to do this. If you ever need to be knocked down a few pegs, we would love to do that right here on the podcast. It's good for you, for your mental health, to help you, so you feel better about yourself.
Help me.
Yeah, because we love you, man.
I mean, I feel like I can do it even more impactful as Anthony and I work at the same facility, so I can embarrass him in front of coworkers.
In front of management, in front of executives.
He's tough to embarrass. He's really tough to embarrass.
I have no problem with that.
He really doesn't.
That's true.
So, all right. So at this point, 1UPSTATE it's a go. It's going October 21st of this year at the Albany Capitol Center. We'll be taking over the first floor only. So we're keeping it fairly small after some realigning and realization that, like, I'm going to say we were trying to bite off too much. Truth is, I was trying to push us to bite off too much. So it's a good thing that we were able to scale it back. And it's going to be fairly small. Well, small by comparison to most other conferences and expos.
Well, I mean, I would think the first time out, you'd want to keep
somewhere.
And that's what like everyone's response is. Again, it's like, Anthony, calm your shit down. So there's going to be room for about 30 or so vendor tables.
Wow, okay.
And then we're going to have, right now, the tentative schedule, and this is all unofficial. Like, this is all very much in development. What I would like to have is a keynote speaker at the very beginning at about noon. So it's only like a half-day event. And then after that, all the panel talks and group discussions and presentations would be like a half hour long. So like mini panels, micro talks. Kind of like a TED Talk type of thing.
Yeah.
Sure, we can run through a whole lot of different topics. And then you're not going to be stuck in a room for a full hour talking about the same topic. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because that's like the standard format, right? But with the micro format, you can like run through a lot of different things in a shorter amount of time.
Yep.
So, and thanks. We just posted the link right there, 1UPSTATE.com. For more info, and we'll be adding more stuff as things come up and we finalize more details. Right now, we have the general interest form and the volunteer sign-up form on the website. More stuff will be added. I have a few other Google Forms kind of waiting in our Google Drive to get things situated, but I need to, talk over them with the team, make sure that all the information is there. And I reference a lot of other forms from other people and other organizations, and I try to make the form as comprehensive as possible, but that also means that I've got a lot of fucking overkill in everything that I create. Like, these forms are long, and I'm looking at this thinking to myself, nah, it is too much, but I'm just going to leave it in there for now, and we'll talk about it and scale it back appropriately. What's good right now?
What's good right now?
That wasn't directed to me, but I'm the one talking. Goddammit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just let them go.
But yo, Ronell, this 1UPSTATE. You love video games. You love gaming. You want to hear about this? 1UPSTATE Gaming. You want to hear about this? Tell everybody.
In particular, anybody in the Albany area.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be real good as more details come out about this expo. But one of the things I also want to kind of stress is this isn't going to be like your normal Comic-Con or geek culture conference. This is going to be different, and for better or worse, some people may not be interested in this event. But that's kind of the point, because this is going to be focused on the game developers themselves. So this isn't going to be like your standard Comic-Con, just video game focus. There are other conventions for that. This is going to be more on the professional tip. So we're going to have vendors that are going to be, they're going to be more exhibitors. So they're going to be the local game studios. That's the goal. We're going to have the actual, people from the local studios and some of the indie developers. And we're going to try to target a lot of the other creatives and people that bring video games to life. That's awesome. Also, there's going to be I'll try to target, I'll send out invites and all that to studios that do back-end development, because there's a few in the area where they'll handle like the back-end server support or just the hosting of things. There's a lot that goes on with these games to make them happen. I mean, if you've played through any game, the modern AAA game has a support staff comparable to a blockbuster movie. Like, that's not even up for debate, right? Like, you sit there for one of the people that will watch the credits at the end of a game, you're going to sit there for like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, watching things go by.
Yeah.
I did that for Kingdom Hearts. That shit was never ending.
Yeah, right?
Well, you know what's funny is now with the trophy and achievement system is you kind of have to let the credits roll before that last trophy pops up.
fuckers.
So they I mean, they kind of force you to, they kind of force you to sit through those anyway.
Smart.
And you're looking at the clock.
Smart,
like,
yeah.
Holy shit, it's been 10, 15 minutes.
I'm sure it's a little payment agreement between the developers and Sony. Like, listen, make them watch this for whatever.
You want to be at 100% of this game, you better watch the credits.
Yeah, those people deserve acknowledgement 100%.
No, they do. 100%.
I'm just saying, there's
the voice actors, everybody.
There's an ass load of
video games.
There's an ass load of people involved in making these games.
Don't get me wrong, they do, but I just love how they trick you into making you watch.
It's just kind of funny as you're sitting there. I'm like, these credits are just going on and on.
I respect it though. I respect it. It's smart.
Well, yeah. Well, that's actually a really good point with the voice actors. I've been trying to dip into voiceovers for a few years now. I kind of had to take a little backseat with the organization of 1UPSTATE, but with the voiceover talent, you have a game like any of the Ubisoft games, Assassin's Creed. How many different voice actors are there? And the answer is like over 150. And the reason for that is it's not just the main characters. It's not just the named characters. All the random quest givers, all the random shopkeepers that you go through during the quest, all the ambient conversations as you go through a city, all the different enemies, all like the
non-playable characters that you just get quest lines from and stuff like that. Yeah,
right.
That's awesome. That's pretty dope, actually.
And then localization. All those different people. Multiply that by however many languages they develop this into. That's a lot of fucking people.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Damn.
Yes. Yeah. James,
every language. You're like, we need the same amount of people for every language.
They do. They have those language. They have 10 language options available.
Now, unless you get lucky, and then you got that one guy that's so good at voice work that he can do like 18 characters.
Yeah,
like Seth MacFarlane.
I mean, no, but that's a brilliant idea. If you're going into voice work, learn other languages as well, just so you can do that.
Oh yeah. Just popped up on Twitch. Sometimes it's easier to hire hundreds of voice actors to do one line each than to hire one person. I mean, it all depends, right? All depends what the situation is. Because that one person who can do lots of characters, they're probably a professional. Let's be honest. This is a business.
That's true. Right? Pay a lot of money.
This is business.
Oh yeah. Yes. Of course.
But if you can get a bunch of hundreds of voice actors to come in, read a line, and toss them $50, $75 a piece, it's ambient background noise as they're walking through the city. Who gives a shit?
Where can I sign up?
Yeah,
so I can sit there in my sweatpants, drinking a beer, just making $100 an hour.
I mean, I do it for free just to get my face out there. I just wear, there's something.
You're gonna do voice work just to get your face out there?
Yeah, I know, right? They know your voice.
Yo, what are you rubbing on yourself for, Aaron? I mean, I've heard about feeling yourself, but this is a little literal.
You do have a face.
When he gets excited, he touches his chest a lot.
It's true. You do have a face for radio.
Me too.
I mean,
thank you, Chris. I know you. You love my face.
You guys want to talk about this movie a little bit before we get too sidetracked? We'll come back to all the 1UPSTATE and video game stuff, but
all right.
I have questions about this movie.
Go for it.
Me too. Are we rating this first?
So time out. How many of you guys have actually played Halo?
I played it, didn't I couldn't get into it and stopped. I don't know the story. I know Master Chief, the main dude.
That's all I know.
That's all I know.
Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do like the lore nerd thing.
I played it co-op with my cousin. I believe it was the first one. Did I know what was going on? No, we were just going through the game, and that was basically it. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. Just
no, not familiar. My friends played all the time. I'm not a big fan of first shooter games.
Okay.
So, because as soon as I go and they shoot me in the head and they're like dead, I'm like, go fuck yourself, and I just throw the paddle.
I don't play a lot of first-person games because honestly, I feel like they're all 90% of them are all the same to me. So it's rare that I play one. I'll play one from time to time, but not often. So I never got into Halo, even though I had Xbox.
All right.
And I like the fact.
Not have suggested this movie.
I kind of like the fact that we watched a Halo 4 movie, which I assume is the fourth in a series I've never seen.
Yeah.
So Anthony's gonna have to do some explaining here.
I've got some
Well, I guess it's a flashback episode, like movie, isn't it?
I don't know what the fuck I
like
saw.
a memory of the guy who's reading the videos.
Yes, Lasky.
Yeah,
So,
Lasky was the main fat chief at the beginning and end, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, I spent. Hey, by the way, since you
the one that's allergic to the cryo shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Whenever we landed on this movie, the whole time until I started, I thought it was going to be an animated movie. I didn't realize they made live action Halo movies.
Especially where in the beginning, where it looked like an animation.
It 100% looked animated. I'm like, I was ready. I mean, I was fine with it. I was ready for an animated movie.
I was like, what the fuck?
I started seeing real people. I'm like, I can't. Am I just assuming this animation is really good, or are these real people? That's how I spent the first 10 minutes of this. I was distracted.
All right. So
I have no idea what the fuck the story is, who these characters are, why they're being attacked, who's attacking them.
Yeah, no. At first, it's supposed to. I guess it's supposed to be the military, those Ascros, whatever they yell out.
Ascroves.
It sounded like she said farmers. Did she say farmers? Axios.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
Were they fucking farmers? That's what they said. Farmers.
They did mention that at one point.
Okay. Yes. All right. So,
like, fuck your milk.
Anthony's in over his head now, and he realized it.
He's like, fuck.
So Axios is what they were yelling, kind of like a battle cry.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it means I am worthy. In ancient Greek. So I am worthy. Yell out
so the Axis of power in World War II.
Yeah, something like that. So that's where Axios is from. So they did a little bit about the Greek general that their camp is named after, Corbulo or something like that. And he was so devoted to the military and his chain of command that in order for whatever reason that they mentioned, he had to kill himself.
Yep.
And he dropped on his own sword. And as he dropped on his own sword, he yelled, Axios, I am worthy. So he is doing this for a higher purpose. So that's what the cadets yell when they run into battle. The farmers aspect. This is a academy for training cadets. And at the time of the movie, while they're training, they are being trained to fight off insurgents. And these insurgents are people who are rebelling against the UNSC, the United Nations Space Command. And just like they're insurgents, basically. So they get deployed wherever the insurgency and the rebellion is happening, and they quash the rebellion. So the question then came up is like, do you feel, sorry for these people? Do you empathize with them? They're trying to kill us. And Lasky's response was, yeah, we're getting sent out to kill farmers. Who are overtaxed farmers who are fighting back against basically the empire.
Yep.
So that's where that all came in. And they refer to them as innies, which is short for insurgents. That's our pieces begin to fit into place.
It's who they're like what they're doing, but then they band together to fight the alien things.
I got the basics.
Sword's badass though.
I got the basics. I just didn't know what the backstory on any of this was. I knew that the cadets were I knew that the insurgents were like poor farmers, like
So that's
and then they got the cadets that are fighting them and stuff like that. I knew there was these alien group. I don't know what the fuck the aliens are though.
And everybody knows
called
who
the
Master
Covenant.
Chief is.
Yeah, so the aliens are the Covenant, and it is multiple alien races that have bound together over pretty much a religious scripture, and they worship these ring worlds. So if you're familiar with like these big planets that look like inverted rings, they have in the game there are these ring worlds that you can inhabit, and as it turns out in the game, these ring worlds are actually part of a interplanetary defense system, and they are designed to explode basically in a chain reaction with other ring worlds in case this other alien race lets out that is called the Flood. So it's basically a galactic sanitation mechanism. And the Covenant basically worships these rings as like machine gods, more or less, and they want to take control of them. Okay. So that's where you see the monster that invaded the actual.
Is the ring thing talking about?
Yep, those are the Halo ring worlds. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Look at that.
So that's where the first Halo game starts.
All right.
Gotcha.
That's different than a cock ring. Okay.
Very different.
That's too big for me.
Yeah, it's too big even for Aaron. But and the first one that you see,
maybe he's not the Black Hulk.
Moving on. The first one that you see is called an Elite. I can't remember what their huge backstory is, but they turn invisible and they have the energy swords.
Yeah,
that's pretty iconic. Yeah, they're basically predators, right? And there are other monsters that you see, the jackals, as they're driving through the forest. They're the ones that kind of much smaller, still kind of humanoid, but like a longer face. And they, yes, they are fast. They also hold shields, these energy shields that just look like solid light. Yeah, in the game, they will move as a phalanx, and they'll hold the shield in front of them, but the shields have like these notches in them on either side, and that's where they could put their gun through. Kind of like, phalanx shields, way back in ancient times, so you could put your spear through. They poke their guns through them and shoot at you. Damn. Other references in the movie, they refer to ODSTs. Like, who are these ODSTs? Or you're just not good when the ODSTs drop down. Orbital Drop Shock Troopers. So they're like an elite level of
special forces.
Basically special forces, yeah. And they get dropped from space in these, drop pods, and they pop out and they fuck shit up. Is basically what the ODS.
What was that big ass one where Master Chief had to throw a grenade in his chest?
That is called a Hunter. They have more formal names in the game's lore. I can't remember right now, but those things, they're wild. They're basically used as end bosses in different levels, and they always exist in pairs. That's why there's two of them, and they're actually not a singular beast. It's actually a collection of like really long, we'll say, space eels. So when you see Master Chief kind of throw his fist in there with the grenade, it looks like he like went between some type of like woven mesh or something.
Yeah,
that's because it's a kind of collective intelligence where all of these like eels or snakes or whatever,
like a master hive.
Yes, exactly. And they all move together like a single entity. And they're always like heavily armored. They're always heavily armed. These are a pain in the ass to fight.
And that's why he steps on the one after it blows up. He stepped on the eel looking thing.
Yes.
I assumed, I got the impression that killing that was important before it could spawn and rebuild or.
Yeah, it's basically one of the individual space eels. What else? So the Spartan program was a secret. People weren't supposed to know about it, and the very end scene where you see the others, so the Spartans being the other Master Chiefs, take off their helmet and they look like kids, and they're like, "What the shit? How
they
old
look
are you?"
Weird, kind of. Didn't they look fake?
It looked fake, and that looked animated again.
Yeah, kind of weird. Yeah.
So Spartans are made by basically kidnapping kids. And forcing them into like intense training and body modification.
Totally appropriate.
Totally appropriate. Yep. And the kids that they kidnap, they actually like take their DNA and they make a flash clone of the kid, send the clone back to the family, but these clones are unstable and they die quickly. So basically, we kidnap your kid without you knowing. We're going to send back a fake, but it's going to die soon, so you don't bother looking for your kid.
So I got a question about Halo. Are you playing as the bad guy?
No,
this sounds fucked up.
So is Master Chief leading a group of kids that he kidnapped into battles?
That's horror hell and
that's what
armored.
Halo is? He's a kidnapping ringleader?
Holy shit. Children trafficking.
Yeah.
Child trafficking. That's Mr. Chief should be in
Jesus
fucking jail.
Christ.
So Master Chief doesn't do the kidnapping himself. You know, that's the new government.
He pretends not to
It's
know about
fine.
it.
Yeah.
Yep,
Holy
Master
shit.
Chief John
Okay.
117. Get behind
Okay.
me.
No, I didn't know what I was watching for a while, but by the time the action started and the aliens invaded, I got more into it. I mean, it was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I'd give it
So-
it was entertaining to me at that point.
Yep.
But again, I didn't know any of the lore or
No,
anything.
me
like
too.
that
I didn't know the
going into
background.
it.
I didn't know the characters. I was like, who the fuck is this? I did not expect the young girl to
Which
die.
is kind of one of the funny things about watching, again, the fourth movie and what I assume is a series.
So no. This is
Okay.
a standalone movie.
Of course it
It's
is.
called it's Halo 4 because it took place as like prep for the release of Halo 4. And in the very
Oh, shit.
beginning,
Oh,
you
all
hear
right.
Wait. Can you say it once again? It did what?
it was in preparation for the release of Halo 4.
Oh,
So a
I'll play
little bit of back end history.
Okay.
Halo was originally created by Bungie. Bungie produced several games and they turned it over to Studio 343 for the continuation of the series. Halo 4 was the first game put out by Studio 343. So they had to like extend the game story, the game lore. What happens in 4 is the that blue AI chick, her name's Cortana. You see her at the
Shocker.
very beginning.
Yeah, a real Microsoft shout out there. That was the first thing I noticed.
That was named after Cortana of Halo.
Oh, really?
Yep.
But Halo was always a Microsoft exclusive.
Correct, because it was published by Microsoft,
Yeah.
developed by Bungie.
Yep.
So by the time Halo 4 comes out, you hear her talking about how Master Chief is in like cryo sleep. Like the whole ship is in cryo sleep. And they've just been floating around waiting for shit to go down. And she's been alone for 4 years with nothing to do but think.
Oh.
And AI has nothing to do but think. So a main story arc in the second trilogy of Halo is Cortana's gone mad. And her mind, her AI mind is beginning to fracture. So she's going insane, and she has control over the ship and later gains control of the ring worlds.
Oh,
cheers!
Okay.
All right.
Damn.
So, yeah.
That's more
it's heavy
interesting now, yeah.
So that's what she's talking about. Like, I've had nothing to do but think, and her mind is fracturing. She's like outlived her shelf life as like an actual product. Like she's beyond that, and now her mind is going. So she's going digitally insane.
so
And she fucked herself over by unfreezing Master Chief.
Well, shit was going down again. So that's why she had to unfreeze Master Chief, and that would launch into the start of Halo 4. And what's really cool is basically that movie was the first contact of the Covenant, or at least for those kids. And there's one game, Halo Reach, where it's like the prequel to the series. So it's a prequel game, and it's called Halo Reach. And the end of the game launches off the series. And I remember it was surprisingly emotional once I completed the game, because as the Spartan that you play as, you don't play as Master Chief in Halo Reach, you play a different one. But your final mission is to hold off the Covenant until this one ship can take off and let everyone escape the planet. You do that, everything's successful, you hear the celebration music, you go through the credits, and then it comes back to you. And it's just you on the launch pad. And the stream of Covenant doesn't end. And you can pick up ammo, you can keep fighting, but slowly, your helmet begins to crack. And there's no music playing. It's just you fighting as long as you can. There's no power-ups, but you can keep picking up new guns for more ammo, but your helmet slowly cracks. Like your visor gets cracks and fractures in it. And you just go as long as you can.
Interesting.
Happy fun times.
So he's like
That's a real
the
fucking
father.
downer.
He's like the father of that fucking he's Bruce Willis sacrificed himself with everybody else get
Yep. Exactly.
go home.
Exactly.
Damn.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in these games.
All right.
So how does that change your perspective, knowing this information? Does it change
that
how
makes
you
it
view
more
It makes it
interesting.
more sense. Yeah, it makes it more
Yeah, it
interesting.
makes it
Like
more
there's
sense.
so much backstory.
I
to
will
it.
listen. I didn't know if you had
I wish
done
I'd
this
seen
on
that in the
purpose.
movie. I wish we would have seen that in the
Well,
movie.
So this, if you guys want, this can go into an interesting direction as far as video game movies are concerned. Should they be standalone where anyone can jump into the movie and understand what's going on, or should they stay as like fan service?
I feel like that's a problem most
I say both.
studios can't decide on when they try to make video game for every video game movie that's ever been made.
I say both, but then I feel like if it's both, should we be informed of which is which?
I feel you got to make a decision and commit to it. And I feel like studios can't
very
do
much
that.
so. You know what?
Yeah, I like the Sonic movies. Sonic 1 and 2 are good. I like them.
But here's the thing. How much story really is in Sonic? And yeah, I'll be that asshole who says that it doesn't have much of a story.
No,
It don't. You're honest. It don't.
No, there's not a lot of story in Sonic.
Nope.
There's not a lot of Sonic story, so it's easy to probably
he just learned. He just uses speed for good.
I didn't see the
that's
sequel.
It goes fast. That's it.
I didn't see the sequel. The first one was really good.
Tails. That's when you introduce Tails.
Yeah, like I haven't watched them, but I've heard like nothing but great things about them.
The first one was really good.
I was surprised. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "This is pretty goddamn good."
It was
good. And Jim Carrey has got to be fantastic.
He was awesome.
Being as old as I am, I call him Dr. Robotnik, right? But apparently he's Eggman now or whatever the shit.
But the thing with the video game, but the thing with video game movies is studios have always gone for that more big budget spectacle than they have trying to stay committed to the content and the reason the game became popular.
Yes. Yeah. Like I was furious when the Assassin's Creed movie came out because
that was horrible.
That was a letdown.
It was so bad.
That was bad.
They chose the Inquisition, the age of the Spanish Inquisition, as the historical backdrop. How much intrigue could they have put into that? How much political intrigue could they have put in that? And they used it as a backdrop for parkour. That's it. What the shit?
So I've been reading because the Last of Us series is debuting next week, and I can't fucking wait. So there's been a lot of interviews with Neil Druckmann, whatever the game's creator, whatever the game creator's name was. There, because at one point they were talking about doing a movie, and he was talking about how the studio basically just wanted to make it World War Z, big, sexy, not what it is at all. Type thing. That's the problem that movie studios don't fucking understand.
Yeah, they don't listen to what fans want. You want to stick to the story of you tell all these people are playing these games and they have to sit through half-hour cutscenes. They want to see the cutscenes on screen.
Yeah. Well, it's like what always blew my mind. These games have dedicated fan bases and they have enough attention and enough clout to warrant the creation of a movie.
Oh hell!
Why the fuck are you changing the story?
That's mind-boggling. It's literally
written for you.
It's like they're intentionally going out of their way to fuck things up most of the time. Like there's a reason this story was so popular to begin with. You could fucking put this up on a screen, word for word.
Yep.
And make the money you're looking to make.
Something I would like to see is rather than retelling the story of the original game, make a side story in that universe and just have the main characters pop in for cameos.
That's an interesting
I think
concept.
That would be cool.
I was going to say, if you're going to do the main story, you can pull a lot of that, but you're going to have to add certain aspects, but still in the same vein of not out of character actions for these people.
Well, one of the things that I can imagine, if you have a game with enough story to like make the proper movie, like as we're talking about, the game is going to be 60, 70 hours long. How do you compress that into even 2.5 hours? You're going to be cutting a lot of stuff. You're going to be combining storylines. That's what I'm thinking, like for the movies or for the episodic series, web series, TV series, whatever you want to call it. Make a side story and then have the main characters like walk by or like join in for a mission, or like you see him at the bar, like, oh shit, it's Roland, or something to that effect. I have Borderlands in my head right now, so that's why. If you get you guys don't play first person shooters.
Oh, your opinion,
is that movie still coming out?
It should be.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
I think
I heard coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, Borderlands should be coming. I believe they finished filming, and like even Kevin Hart made like several tweets while he was on set, like, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
nice. You can understand my skepticism about Kevin Hart in a video game movie.
Yeah. Jumanji, man, he was in Jumanji. I don't know if they turned that into a video game. I think they did, because I've seen it on Xbox or Xbox.
They must have, even if it was just like a craptastic game just for the ancillary income.
Yeah. So your concept, do you count the new remake of Mortal Kombat? Did they do that? It's like a side story, because the tournament didn't start. It was like the main character still. You had, of course, you had Scorpion and everything, Sub-Zero, but they were like side stories. It wasn't like they just went in and we got to fight this tournament.
Yeah,
works for me.
Yeah, it worked for me. I like it.
Unfortunately, Dad Life, I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, okay. You gotta check it out.
I know.
It was good, man.
This means nothing to you. It's
my
good.
expectations
are
both high and low.
Yeah,
they're making a sequel to it.
Yeah, it was good.
If
But
they
the
didn't
thing
already.
is, the first part, the Scorpion dialogue of like the beginning, was the best out of the whole fucking thing.
Nice.
The movie should have just been about Scorpion. I was like,
it was definitely a lot better than the original Mortal Kombat.
The
movies.
90s Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it was good. Oh, Wreck-It Ralph, I've seen the first one. I know there's more than one. I've seen the first one.
I seen the first one in theaters, actually.
You know, those fucking animated movies with the young little girl who's crazy out of her mind are entertaining. Like, because you don't expect a little girl to do this shit.
Vanellope von Schweet.
Yeah, she's fucking like out of her mind.
Yeah, voiced by Sarah Silverman. And she did such a good job. Such a good job.
She's been around so long.
Yeah, she is. She used to date Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. But I'm very curious to see how The Last of Us show is going to come out.
Me too. I hope
again
it's fucking
next
good,
next Sunday's the debut, and they said
real good.
The show's going to tell the story of the games. That's it. It's not going beyond that. They're not expanding.
Okay.
So they adapted the game stories.
Okay.
See, I never played the games.
They're also,
I mean,
they're also supposedly working on a third game. So I don't know season-wise what they're doing.
So I played maybe like the first quarter, third. I don't think I actually got to the halfway point. But then I got distracted by some other shiny object, and I left it. But what I did play was absolutely fantastic. Like, hands down, so fantastic. The intro, the prologue of the game, super emotional.
It's one of the most emotional, engrossing stories I've seen in a video game.
But it's really not that long, right?
No.
And it's very linear. And I say that respectfully. It's very linear. So it's not like an open world game where you can kind of do things out of order. You can make your own decisions, like Dragon Age and Mass Effect.
God, no. It's nothing like that. It's definitely more of a linear type game. It's got a little exploration. It is linear.
Yeah, but it's like you're not going to go and make decisions where certain characters are no longer alive later on.
No.
You're not going to make certain decisions that are like world changing or world shaping. It is like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and so on. So
a little bit.
So that they can do, and plus it's an episodic series, so they're not limited to an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, right? They're going to be 8 hours, however many episodes.
I assume HBO shows are usually 8 to 10.
Okay.
Episodes.
Assume 1 hour per episode, so you got 8 to 10 hours to tell a story. So you got room to do that. You have room to expand. You have room to explain. You have room to world build, as opposed to I got to do 70 hours worth of gameplay in an hour and a half. And we still need to have fight and action sequences. Holy shit, just go. And it's going to be a confusing mess.
So somebody new, in fact, not video games specific, somebody new picked up the rights for Dark Tower. That's going to kick off a whole new Dark Tower universe.
Oh, good.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Because the first movie was just god awful. It shouldn't have even been called a Dark Tower Stephen King. It should have no relation whatsoever.
Yeah, they did the entire series in one movie.
Yeah,
And
they
it's
tried
like
to.
seven
And
books?
a short fucking movie. I don't even think the movie was 2 hours.
I don't think so either. I mean, I had fun, but
But
like,
video game wise, I'm pretty sure Amazon or Netflix have picked up an Assassin's Creed series.
I heard about that. Yep. I think it's Netflix.
well, maybe they can do something proper.
But
I gave
then
up on this.
Amazon has something else in the works. Oh, the Warhammer 40,000 from Henry
Yeah.
Cavill.
Oh,
Yep.
jeez.
Warhammer. Yeah.
Fucking Henry Cavill, king of the nerds.
He is
Oh,
king
hell,
of the
king of the
nerds
nerds.
at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, he
To be as
repeat-
ridiculously jacked and nerdy as he is, I think that's the dream for every nerd.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He repeatedly said, as long as they stay true to the source material, I am on board, fully committed for 7 seasons. He repeatedly said that.
For The Witcher.
For The Witcher.
Yeah.
And then he
Then they-
left.
Yep. And because I heard they started changing shit and didn't like it.
Well, even the worst stories I've heard from at least season 1 were the writers just laughing at how corny the material fucking was or something like that. And weren't even fans or something.
Yeah,
I've
they
heard
weren't.
that too. I've
I'm
seen
like,
that.
that's on fucking Netflix right there. If you're gonna get people to write this show, get people that like the material.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
You guys-
seems like
you
a
guys
bad
think-
business decision.
I feel like that's very simple in a sense. People will take this the wrong way, but with like making like a decision race based, you're not going to go to a straight white male to ask about how a black female feels about something. Just like you're not going to go to someone who's passionate. I'll just use your music podcast. This person who's passionate about this specific game.
Mhm.
You'd rather. Why would I go to this guy when this guy knows what the hell he's talking about and knows the game like the back of his hand? Knows how many people are going to buy this or go see this movie because it's just like the game.
The hype level behind this series was astronomical. There were other reports coming out of the girl who plays Siri, Freya Allen, excuse me. She was like, having Henry Cavill on set is like having a Witcher Bible, talking Witcher Bible. Like,
Yep.
in this scene we should use this line from Blood of Elves. Like he's quoting the books, type of thing.
That's awesome.
And that goes back to like, why are you changing the story for something that people already know and love?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck your vision.
It's mind-boggling because Netflix even at this point has the money to do it right.
Yeah.
It's not like
They got the cash for it.
Yeah.
And they knew that, I mean, they planned 7 seasons of this. They
Yeah.
knew it was going to be big. They knew this was going to be one of those shows that people would buy Netflix for. This is a subscriber driving show.
Yeah.
They were committed to it.
I like it still. I enjoyed Witcher.
I mean, it's gonna be that through season 3. It's gonna be that until season 4.
I
when
didn't
Liam
watch
Hemsworth
Origins
takes over.
or Blood Origins. I didn't watch that.
It's that's the best
Yeah,
thing
I heard
ever.
bad things. I heard bad things about it.
What it is, Blood Origins. Listen, I'm not. I mean, I'm still reading the 3rd or 4th book, depending on where you start. Blood Origins is more about the history, but they literally tried to cram 7 characters worth of story into less than 4 hours.
Mm.
You can't bring 7 characters together, fully flesh out their backstory, show character development and why they came together to overthrow an empire in fucking 3.5 hours.
Mm.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It was, if they were gonna do it, the concept's fine. The film, it was beautiful to watch. The film, the images, the filming, everything looked great. The acting was good, but you literally have no time for character development, story building, or anything like that.
It takes
should have,
time.
at the very least, should have been their 10-episode, hour-long episode,
Mm.
one-time season or something like that.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
it.
we'll see what happens. I'm still
Sounds
on
like
board
shit.
for watching season 3. I'm still on
Yeah,
board for it.
me too.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
So here's a round
They're
table.
replacing. They replaced it with fucking Thor's brother, right?
Liam
Right.
Hemsworth. Listen, I'm not going to shit on him. It's a tough situation.
Yeah,
to
but
go
it's still
into
gonna
for
be.
anybody.
It's gonna be weird.
I don't until I see it. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna. I'm just gonna reserve judgment.
Yeah, he could be good. We'll see.
He could be good.
I heard he was like their second choice or something like that.
I
Like, so
haven't-
he was up there for the choices. We'll see what happens.
So here's another rumor I heard with Henry Cavill. I heard he left Witcher because he had to choose between Marvel money and Witcher
DC
money.
money?
DC. He chose DC for Superman, but then they fucked him over. Now he's
Listen,
he's without both.
I know he really wanted to do Superman. He wanted to keep doing Superman.
Yeah, he wanted to do Superman a lot. That's why.
And then they did fuck him over.
They fucked him up. They want a younger Superman now because James Gunn. Who did it? Is it James Gunn took over?
I think James Gunn.
James Gunn and somebody else took over, and they wanted. I mean, they want to tell a different story for
a younger version,
a younger Superman, which is fine.
Well, I think
probably like Smallville, high school Superman.
I never watched Smallville.
I watched Smallville back in the day. I'm not going to lie.
I did.
I think James Gunn's just like rebooting the entire DCU.
Yeah, he is the whole.
I think is anyone left? Jason Momoa. I think he's like the only one left that he has.
He's going to end up playing. He's playing a different. He's going to be playing a. Yes, they're still doing the Aquaman movie. It's already filmed. It's coming out. The next Aquaman movie, but they're going to recast him as a different DC
villain, right? Is it?
All right, so
he's going to be Lobo. Lobo.
Oh yeah, Lobo. That's right.
Nobody I know of.
I just happened to like.
I heard about. He's basically like a fucking demon dude on a motorcycle, right?
He's like a bounty hunter or something.
Yeah. He's kind of like Ghost. He's like Ghost Rider without the flaming skull head.
He's more of a Jason Momoa type character.
Exactly. But no, Lobo. I guess in the comics, Lobos is like badass. It's like he could travel planet to planet. Or some shit. It's like some kind of fucking space.
Listen, I have no reason to doubt James Gunn. I enjoyed the work that he's done with Marvel and everything like that. So I'm curious to see what he has.
And honestly, I feel like this is a perfect role for him because he doesn't have to talk a lot, and he doesn't.
Yeah, he has a crazy healing factor too. That's right. Yeah, there he is.
It already fucking looks like him.
Paint his face.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's why they want him, man.
Contacts.
Yeah, he does have a fucking healing factor, like crazy fast, like Deadpool, like maybe faster than Deadpool.
I gotta take a leak. I'll be right back.
All right,
yeah, buddy.
But Lobos, yeah. How's it going? See, I hate when people do that. Like they'll make them, like especially in the same like for DC. Like okay, Ben Affleck's Batman, but hey Ben, we want you to play another fucking superhero or a villain too. You're like, no, you can't do that. Stop doing that. Is he Aquaman or is he fucking Lobo? What the fuck's going on here?
Movie magic. Don't worry about it.
James, like I've been saying, and people keep denying, Aquaman was garbage. The movie was terrible.
I'm not a fan of Aquaman. I was never a fan of the comic. I never a fan of him at all. Like basically, I said, as soon as he's out of water, you whoop his fucking ass. How many missions are near water? So you never have to call him. He's on fucking speed dial in case you need someone in the fucking water. The rest of the Justice League is fighting aliens shit, and he's just sitting there on his throne in the water going, I don't have friends. Looking at the phone. He's staring at the phone. Like, call me. Someone call me, please, Batman. Come on.
You know Batman would be the last one to call you.
Like, come on, man. He calls Wonder Woman, he slips into her DMs. He's like, hey, how you guys doing? What's up?
Yo, hey, girl.
You want this fish stick? Like it's a swordfish, man.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god!
No, seriously, you ever see like the old school cartoon Justice Friends or something, where they had him? He's in the water and he calls the fucking dolphins, and the fucking dolphins come. I'm like, fuck Aquaman.
He rides on him. He was wearing like an orange shirt and like green pants or something.
Yeah, it's like fucking green, like fucking Super Friends. Thank you. That's the fucking cartoon.
Yep.
Super Friends. Fucking Aquaman. Fucking.
Wow, dude,
he should be in the fucking.
I don't mind him. I mean, he doesn't bother me that much.
He's a useless guy. I'd rather have a fucking side. I pick Robin over fucking Aquaman.
I can see that. I feel like he'd be a better sidekick.
Fucking Robin kicks people's fucking ass. He knows fucking martial arts and shit, you know.
By the way, I guess I'm gonna give that movie a 6 just so we can get past that conversation.
Okay.
Oh, the Halo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was like as soon as the action kicked up, it was like a fucking. I thought I was watching like Stormtroopers or something. It was pretty like the aliens and shit. I was like, okay, this is cool. So I give it a 6 as well. for not knowing what the fuck's going on because I don't never.
No
played Halo.
idea. Yeah.
It was still good. It was a fucking survival, fucking fighting aliens and shit. It was pretty
was definitely Storm or Starship Troopers heavy.
Starship Troopers. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. And I didn't mind that movie, by the way. A lot of people shit on that movie. I didn't mind it.
Oh, that's just good
I'd have
fun.
to read. I have to read. I
That's
know
fun.
I saw it. I have to rewatch
That's
it.
just good fun right there.
Yeah, it is. It was just a fun movie. Exactly.
Do your part to squash the bugs.
Yep. Squash the books.
Aaron,
Yes, sir.
vote or not vote rating?
Score.
I didn't really care for this too much. I gave it a 3.
Well,
It was. But
That's
now
an
the
insult.
story-
That's an insult directly to Anthony's face. That's how I interpret that.
I don't think it
Son
is.
of a bitch.
Aaron's like, fuck your.
The story that he was telling us about the actual game, though, sounds freaking dope. And I'm like,
If
wow.
Anthony could reach through the screen and slap you in the face, I feel
For
like that's what
various
would happen.
reasons.
For various reasons. He
Now,
wants to leave
Anthony,
a
is
much.
Halo your favorite franchise? Game franchise?
Destiny.
That's-
Wearing the hat right
Destiny.
Oh, there you go.
I
Okay.
recognize that.
I never played Destiny either, but I've seen
Oh.
like.
I
Good shit about
am. If it wasn't.
Hold on. We're
for-
going to go on to a sidetrack. Anthony, what was your rating for this movie?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, I'd give it an 8, but I
Okay.
also understand the backstory for it.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
That's
okay.
fair.
That's
That's
fair.
fair.
We're done with that movie. Okay. Favorite franchises?
Of what?
Oh, for what?
Video games.
Oh shit.
Anthony.
It's
is
right
talking
now.
about Destiny.
It's Destiny 2. I mean, there's no comparison. Other than that, I mean, I'd have to go back to some of the earlier versions, like Final Fantasy. I used to be a fiend for Final
Yes.
Fantasy.
Love Final Fantasy.
Can't
Honestly,
get into
Final-
the new ones though.
Final Fantasy VII changed my video game life. I'm not
Me
going to
too.
lie.
That was the
Okay.
best Final Fantasy ever to me.
And here's
Part
where we
seven.
have a generational divide.
It is. It's
Exactly.
a generational
Because
divide.
there's a lot of other
Because I'm the
people
old
think
man. So I
Mhm.
like
Well,
Final Fantasy 6
was it
or 3
6?
when it came out on the Super Nintendo.
3 or 6, which I played, and it was good. It was fun.
Yo,
but
I played- I
didn't
don't
get
know which
into
one it was.
RPGs until 7. 7
The first
was my
time
intro into RPGs.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too. The first time I played Final Fantasy, it was the older version. I don't know if it was for Super maybe or Nintendo. It was the one where you get a fucking move where it shows the Earth and a giant dragon just shoots a fucking flame down at the
7.
Earth.
Yeah,
That was 7?
Yeah,
Yeah,
7.
okay.
Right. So
That I was
that's,
like, holy shit.
it's not even
Yeah.
so much. I won't say that it's a generational divide for me because we're the same fucking age, asshole.
I'm almost 40. Next Saturday, I'm 40.
Yeah,
So-
we're all the same.
I'm 41. So
Yes.
There you go. We're around
Anthony,
the same.
Aaron's
it's
the
that
kid here.
edge. It's the
Aaron's
it's
the
that
kid.
edge.
It's
right
not a
there.
generational divide. It's just that this Final Fantasy VII was the first RPG that I had interest in.
Yeah.
It opened it up to a lot more people.
It opened
was on
me up. It opened my video game mind up to more
Mhm.
RPGs, and that's when I really started getting back into even the stuff that came before that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I only
I was
played
a fan of
Final-
Final Fantasy 10. I played 10. I got into that one.
10 was good.
I skipped fucking. I think I played a little bit of 8. I never played 9. I played the fucking 10. I was like,
I did
okay,
9.
whatever. It's basically
only-
the same shit. You got a fucking
Yeah.
team. You got level them up. Let's go.
Yeah, they're all Final Fantasy is interesting because it has the same core characters, same core mechanics for the most part, but they're all standalone stories.
Mhm.
Yep.
They all kind of exist within the same universe, but they don't. It's like alternate universes. So
Mhm.
you're always going to have, once they started introducing summons, right?
Yep.
You're always going to have Ifrit, Shiva, Odin, oh my god, not Behemoth, Bahamut. There we go.
Bahamut,
The dragon.
yep.
Oh,
You're
I
always
was
going to
gonna
have
say-
them.
I was gonna say Enron or something from fucking Super.
Enron?
Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball. Like that's some of them.
Enron from the business world.
No, whatever that fucking dragon
Shady
is from
fuckers.
Dragon Ball. I forget.
Alright.
I forget
Uh,
his name. I'm bad
but they're-
with names. I've been fucking forgetting shit. I'm old.
Aaron, what
But-
are your
ahead.
favorite video game?
Oh, second
Um,
runner up Final Fantasy's first, and second is Kingdom Hearts. I got into Kingdom Hearts.
I
bad.
could never get
loved
into
it.
Kingdom Hearts.
It
It was
only
just so
played the
much
first
fun
one.
with me.
Yeah, I only played the first one, but it was a lot of fun. It was
It
just
was fun.
really
I like going the other
well
worlds. The
made.
Lion King. It's like you're going through fucking Disney movies. It's pretty fun.
oh, that's exactly what
Honestly,
you're doing.
Yeah, I was like, God
That's
damn,
exactly
this is
what you're
pretty cool.
doing.
The Hercules, the Coliseum. You had to fucking level up your guy. You're fighting the levels. It's just fucking great.
Aaron, what are your favorite video game series?
Honestly, I got into this one super fucking late. I'm kicking myself every day for it. But Resident Evil, I didn't get into it until part 5.
Okay. I
Believe
can
it or
never
not.
get into the Resident Evil
But
games.
you know
I
what?
tried.
Part
Yeah,
of it
me either.
I always grew up with Nintendo products. Like as a kid, that's what I
Mhm.
got. I didn't get a PlayStation until I was old enough and had enough money to go out and get my own PlayStation. By then, Resident Evil, the newer ones were out. Like, I think by the time I got my own shit and stuff, and Resident Evil 5 was just about out. 4 or 5 was just about out. So I just started with that. And it's actually a co-op one, so I started playing that with my brother Henry, and then from that I played 5, 6, 7. 5 through 7 I played through all the way. And I'm partially playing through 8. Very partially playing through.
You want to go old school? I used to be into Contra.
Contra, baby. That game was awesome.
Yeah.
Double Team. The original Double Team.
Oh shit.
Ninja Turtles was always fun.
Ninja
Oh,
Turtles
the
was always
fucking-
fun. Yo, Kip, that fucking was one of the hardest games ever. That fucking Ninja Turtle game. For,
Turtles?
Oh yeah, the first one.
Oh my
Nintendo?
god.
Like a
I was
lot
like,
of
I
Nintendo
never beat it. I never.
I don't know if I ever finished a Turtles game.
No. Yeah, like looking back, you don't
I
realize
opened
how
another
hard
beer. I
those
guess I
games
have to
were.
drink it.
Yeah, it makes you want to go play it again, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I don't know what the fuck
Yeah,
is going anymore.
Well, they have that Turtles collection that just came out, which I'm kind of curious to go.
No, they're coming out with a movie too. At the
Well,
end
Seth,
of the
Seth Rogen's doing the next Turtles movie.
Yeah, end of the year.
Okay.
Is it animated?
I want to say yes.
I think it's animated.
I think it's called Mayhem. Ninja Turtles Mayhem,
Mayhem.
something like that. Yeah.
Seems like
I don't know.
a good guy to do it.
He's the Turtles fan, I guess.
With those
Yeah,
fucking
and I
Turtle
see
games,
in-
man.
Yeah, I see it in Twitch. Yeah, and then the Final Fantasy characters just hang out. Yes, they
Yeah,
hang
they
out on
do,
the
yeah.
airship.
Yep.
It's always there's always someone named Sid. Somewhere,
Yep.
somewhere. There's someone named Sid.
Always.
He's the
Always.
engineer.
Mm-hmm.
They do. And listen, I followed Final Fantasy since Final Fantasy 7. I went back and played 3/6, whatever you want to
Mhm.
call it, and I enjoyed it. It was good. I love the Final Fantasy 7 remake. I thought that was awesome, and I can't wait to see the next 2 parts of that. But Final Fantasy 16's coming out this summer.
I beat the one for Switch that was just out. I forgot what
Which
it's
one?
called.
I know there was Origins that was supposed to be like a prequel.
You know what? I want to play that. I'm waiting for them to come out without the DLC and sell the combined pack at this point.
I got it.
Started it. Because I think that's something that kind of pisses me off about new games. You can expect every time a game comes out, you can expect at least 1 to 2 rounds of DLC at some point over the next year, and then a fucking complete edition to come out with all of the DLC. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. I
see it from the business perspective, unfortunately.
No.
Like
it's ridiculous as a gamer. From a business perspective, it's fantastic because this DLC comes out. You spent $60 on the game theoretically. If you're a fan and you bought it when it came out, you're spending at a minimum another $20 when the first DLC comes out, usually, and then another $20 when the second DLC comes out. You've spent $100 on a game's worth of material.
Oh yeah,
and then they release the special full edition as a brand new game.
For $40. That's when you're
it's even the brand new game with everything. It still comes out at $60 initially or something.
They're moving up to 70.
Yeah, they are.
They're moving up to 70.
I can't listen. That's the way. I mean, with the advancement
inflation.
in technologies, it doesn't surprise me. But
no, not at all.
It's crazy to think.
I remember, like, however many years ago, there was like a re-release of Street Fighter 2. If you remember
which one? There's been like 20 of them.
Yeah, exactly. But it was, I don't know, like the 20-year anniversary or something like that.
Turbo?
I think so. No, seriously, I think so. And
Street Fighter 2, happy birthday. I
can't remember like what it was all about, but I think it was going to be released for like $100 or something like that. People were like, "What the
Fuck
shit?"
that.
And they were like, "Yeah, it's the same price of when it was originally released 20 years prior." Like, you got to understand, $60 is not much. And we just talked about earlier in this episode how many people are involved in the creation of a game these days.
Oh no, they're not.
$60 is nothing.
They're
And how
not really
long have they been
making any
paying?
money on a $60 price point these days. Big games
Not,
like that?
not really.
No.
And that's why, and I have to preface this with if it's done properly, like if it's done strictly with cosmetics, you know where I'm going with this. If it's done strictly with cosmetics and it's not like gambling and predatory, I actually believe microtransactions are good for the industry because you can spend a few dollars and you can get a new shiny hat for your character to run around in, and it doesn't affect the gameplay. That changes when we get into some of the bullshit that EA does, or some of the other, the pay to win. Pay to win is never acceptable. Like, we know this, but I use Destiny 2 as an example for all sorts of things. Yeah, I'll drop extra cash to get like shiny ornaments. They call them ornaments. Those are basically skins for your character to run around it. It does nothing to gameplay. Half the time you can't even see yourself because it's in the first person perspective. But I'm a grown ass man and I have money to spend, but I don't have money or time to play the games. So the game that I do play, I'm going to enjoy that a little more, and I'm going to have a shiny hat. God damn it, because I want to.
All right, this sounds like an argument he's had.
I've talked about this several times. Does this sound rehearsed? Because it is.
At this point in time, you're looking at video game companies trying to find new ways of revenue because just the technology has advanced so much. It's not, you can't just put out a game and make money straight off the game.
Just as long as it's not an NFT, because fuck that.
Oh, yeah, fucking, yeah. Oh, God. It's the dumbest goddamn thing I've ever seen.
Speaking of Ubisoft, their trailer for, I think they called it Quantum, they were going to have NFTs as cosmetics for one of their Tom Clancy games. Like your helmet or some of your gear was going to have an inscribed serial number on it, or like the version number. So it's like, I'm going to have whatever super duper helmet, serial number 0113 for conversation's sake. But only your helmet was going to, Was it
Tom Clancy? Was it Tom Clancy Splinter Cell?
I can't remember,
Yep.
honestly.
Yeah, he's Splinter Cell.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they created a marketplace for people to buy and trade their NFT gear and skins and stuff like that. It got so many downvotes, they removed the trailer from their YouTube channel. It got that bad. But they still launched it.
There's very few things that are so stupid I can't comprehend them. And NFTs are right at the top of that list.
Yeah. It's clout. That's all it is. It's like saying that you have, like, the best that I can relate it to is saying that you have a piece of art that is an artist original. It's not a print, it's the original. And you can verify that it's the original. And the way that the NFTs are verified is that they're part of the blockchain. The problem is, if the blockchain disappears,
NFT.
and it's just, it's simply clout and bragging rights. That's all it is.
It is. So whoever spent money on NFTs, I hope you lose it all.
Not me. I don't understand them. I would never invest money. I don't understand.
Nope.
Yeah, and it's all dealt with crypto, and crypto was based on nothing. And
now I do
air.
I do have $17 in Dogecoin.
Look, hey, look. There's a piece
that
of
fucking failed. That show's supposed to be the next big
Here's
thing.
some kind of coin right there. I'm just rich. I'm this coin richer.
Right. That is way too much volatility for me.
It's monopoly money, imaginary money.
I mean, some people legit get stupid, filthy rich off it. And that's real money right there.
It's gambling.
Can't deny that.
It's
way too risky.
It's another legal form of gambling. That's what it is. You buy and sell.
Yeah.
So,
You
That's
buy
what it
fucking
is.
Bitcoin, goes up to 25 grand, you sell it. When it drops again, you buy it back.
Yep.
Just repeat.
So when is 1UPSTATE celebration of games and people who make them?
October 21st at the Albany
October
Capitol Center.
21st.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, dude. And the event itself is going to be, right now, we're still working out the exact schedule, but it's looking like starting at about noon, going till 5 or 6, break for dinner, and then we're going to come back and have an after party in the location. And the after party, the way that we are trying to plan it out is basically anyone who has games that you can play that they're showcasing their game, we're going to open up to free play. We're going to have a DJ in the background just spinning some background music, and it's going to be just a gaming party.
Gonna get wild.
That's crazy.
Woo!
Bunch of nerds.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's going to be so nerdtastic. But that's what it's going to be. It's just going to be an after party. It's going to be free play. It's going to be all about the games. We're still working out details. As of 3 weeks ago, I signed the contract with the Albany Capitol Center. So that is one of the biggest things if you want to talk about like the development and organization of an event of this scale. This is going to open up the floodgates for us as far as like progress is concerned. Because before, it was really hard for us to go to, like, we basically didn't go to we should make all the volunteers. Absolutely, Griff Kuba. Absolutely. We'll figure out some type of like scavenger hunt for people to do while they're there. Get like a little passport book and like,
they give you side quests.
Yeah,
you gotta go find this vendor.
Like randomly,
it should be an Easter egg hunt. Yeah, of some kind.
Easter egg hunt. Perfect. Or
yeah,
like you'll have someone come out and like strapped to their bags is going to be a giant yellow exclamation point.
I volunteer to do the
Like
most ridiculous stuff.
Oh, I will make you.
You'll just have to feed me beers.
So okay, so I got a question.
Feed me beers and I will do ridiculous costumes and whatnot.
There you go.
All right, my question is for someone that don't know all the background shit video games, and I went to this, and I walk up to a vendor, a table. What do I am I expecting?
Okay, so it depends on who you walk up to. We will be reaching out to the major companies. I don't want to. I mean, we do have major companies if they agree to show up at the show, if they have the availability or the availability of the people to go. What you will most likely see is a game on demo. So the game that you see on demo that you will hopefully be able to play while you're there. It's not just going to be like, oh, there's a video game to play. The emphasis will be that video game was made by the people standing behind that counter or behind that table, and they are local. That's what we're trying to do. So that's one of the things, is that this is talent, this is development that's happening in our own communities.
Because Albany has really
Albany and Troy.
In Albany and Troy in the last decade.
Yeah,
so
they're even doing college classes for gaming and shit.
And that's another thing that we're trying to do. We're trying to do, and this is going to be the executive project management jargon nonsense, a full workforce development lifecycle representation. And you have high schools who now have esports. Mahonison in particular has their little Mahonison Esports Festival.
Do they really?
So, yeah, they do.
Oh, wow.
Claim to Fame Entertainment is involved with that, and so we have high schoolers and people in general play games, right? So the interest is already there, but the esports is beginning to take hold over here on the East Coast. So the high school students, they want to get involved. They want to, and they tell their parents, "Mom and Dad, I want to get into game development," and they're like, "Okay, is there any future in that?" We know the answer is yes, but not everyone does. Well, where are you going to go to school for that? We have RPI. We have UAlbany. St. Rose also has an esports team. So not only are there esports teams locally, there are game development coursework and curriculum local. So that's where they're going to go to school. Okay, you go to school and you graduate. Now what? We have a multitude of nationally recognized, internationally recognized studios right here in the Capital Region, the Tech Valley region. It was Vicarious Visions. They are now Blizzard of Albany. They are currently working on Diablo 4. So
Oh,
Diablo
Diablo
4 is
game's
being made
badass.
locally. All right.
That's
They all, yeah, Vicarious Visions also did the Tony
I'm
Hawk
gonna be fucking
remaster for
playing.
1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing Diablo 4.
Yeah, and
Diablo's
that's
badass. I like it.
I might play it just because it's made here. Like that may just make me
Oh,
play
that
it. I remember
Diablo,
when
the game is just badass by itself.
It's
Yeah,
it's a loot collection game. If you're into
it's a
loot
looter.
collection, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The people who started Vicarious Visions, Guabala, him and his brother Karthik started Velan Studios. Velan Studios made the Super Mario Kart, the AR Mario Kart game. Did you see
Mhm.
this? Yeah,
Yep.
that was made in Troy. Knockout
Wow,
City is
shit.
their big title right now. It's an esports game, and it's dodgeball. It's like open world dodgeball.
Oh, I think I seen that. Something about that.
That's made in Troy.
That's badass. Okay.
All right, we have WB
Wow.
Games in Troy also. So Warner Brothers, they work on the DC Fighter and Mortal Kombat. That's here in Troy. So we have internationally
I had no
recognized
clue.
names.
Did not
Yeah.
know none of this.
And that's the thing. Like, not everyone realizes this. Again, I'm a huge Destiny fan. So good. But Vicarious Visions, when they were still called Vicarious Visions, they made the Warmind DLC, one of the DLCs, and they were very heavily involved. And I'm watching these like YouTubers and these like online discussions of like how the game has progressed, and to hear these YouTubers out in the UK talking about Vicarious Visions, and I'm like, yeah, they're like right over there.
They're right behind me. Yeah, like
Yeah,
they're like
they're right over
away.
So these are when I say internationally recognized, I'm serious. I am like not exaggerating in least. These are internationally recognized brands and franchises. So you have the high school kids. They want to get involved. Where am I going to go to school to learn about this? Well, we have multiple colleges and universities locally that have the curriculum in place. All right, what do you do after college? We have the companies right here looking for talent. So you get those 3 steps all in the same room. And yeah, that is a full workforce life cycle representation right there.
I love the idea behind it. It's for the idea of recruiting, development, end
Yeah.
of life, all in one place type thing.
Yeah, that's definitely one of our goals. It's the showcasing the local talent, creating that workforce development life cycle, and I mean the whole area has a great like creative community as well. Yeah, for retirement, you're on your own. Well,
we don't have a retirement plan. You're on your own.
No, that's
Such
more of
as
a
self-employment.
Retirement's more of a Florida thing.
We want to put the spotlight on a lot of the creative effort because it takes a lot of creative effort to make a game. I was listening in on the roundtable discussion. So the New York State Assembly is trying to work through a game development tax credit. They have one right now. They're working on redefining it. And they talked very heavily about how, or like this is the second time I heard a game studio executive say that they hire more creative talent than technical because of, and this is something like, if this sounds rehearsed, or I've had this conversation before this because I have, all the environment artists, all the level designers, all the character designers, all the costume designers, all the weapon and item designers, like everything has a visual aesthetic to it. All the audio mixing, audio mastering, all the motion capture, all of the music, all the background music, all the ambient music. All of this is creative effort. This is all artistry. This is all arts. And then you get into the actual coding and the back end type development. I mean, obviously that's still there, but there is so much creative effort that goes into creating a game that this is creating legit, stable, full-time with benefits, career paths for the creative arts.
Yeah.
And that's huge. So that's one of the things that I'm also like really passionate about, like why I'm trying to push this thing through, is because like there's so much that goes into games. I mean, once you have someone kind of like lay it all out, like no, like wait a second. So in the Halo movie that we watched, someone had to come up with a design for all the cadet uniforms, right? You know, someone had to come up with a design for how all the machine guns worked or looked. Excuse me. Someone had to come up with a design for what the Warthog is the big military Humvee looking
Yep.
thing with the machine
Yeah.
gun on top. Yeah. Someone had to design what that looked like. The dropship, the Pelican. Someone had to design what that looked like. You know, these are all concept art. This is all artistic design. Yeah, it's for, you know, military vehicles. You don't really think of those as beautiful works of art, but it's design work. It's concept art. So all of that stuff. So that's another one of the goals of 1UPSTATE is to bring all these creative efforts together. And that's why we're saying it's a celebration of games and the people who make them.
Just keep going. I'll be back on my computer. Just restart. Keep going.
So-
I'll be back in a minute.
Aaron's voicemail just restarted. Or his
Okay.
computer restarted.
Womp womp.
I was wondering
So
what happened to him.
apparently we can keep going even though he is controlling the stream.
Yeah. So that is the excessively long answer to your question, James.
Yeah, but hey, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, so that's what's
Exactly.
going to be there. A lot of the panel discussions, I foresee them being more on the business end or like the cultural end, like, you know, how do you address accessibility in gaming? How do you address these other issues in development? Yes, Chris.
As important as this is, now's our time to really bash Aaron since he's not here.
Dude.
that asshole. What a son of a son of a
that motherfucker.
Dude, like he really has not been contributing much to this conversation. He's just kind of there,
he's
trying to sit
coasting.
pretty, and he's really not that pretty.
Sitting there, he's so stoned he doesn't know where he is. That son of a bitch. All he did was press a button to hit start stream.
Listen, you guys would be able to do so much more without him. I'm just saying that he's holding you back.
Listen,
we'll get more ratings.
It's not a race thing. It's not a race thing.
Oh God.
Like it's even before we started, me and Chris were talking Elden Ring for 20 minutes. Aaron never played it. He don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
No,
that
James,
game looks so good.
Oh, it's fucking. It's so
listen,
good. I just got it 3 days ago. I'm 26 hours and I'm level 66.
Listen. I was hesitant to get into it. It's a big undertaking, and I knew that it was. Like I kind of didn't want to get into it.
It's a lot.
And then I started playing, and now I have the fucking shakes when I'm not playing.
Oh man, that's so
fantastic.
It's fucking crazy.
This guy I work with was playing for a long time. He stopped, and then he was always saying, "When are you going to start playing?" I finally started, and I've been talking to him about it. And he hasn't played for a while. So he went home and he looked up how much time he had put in and where he was. He had put in 250 fucking hours and he still hasn't finished the game. I'm like, it's fucking embarrassing for you to put in that time and not finish.
Dude, there's so much.
So now I tease him.
Shit.
I tease him that he's spent that time and it's a waste because he didn't finish.
Oh my God.
Damn.
I remember those days. When I used
to me too.
Like
I've got to be at 60 hours and maybe 20 at best 20% of the way.
I'm at like maybe just shy of 90 hours right now. But what I like to do is Destiny 2 has a seasonal approach to their game development, where every 3 months or so they'll drop new content, where it's new story beats, new gear to chase, new activities. And in between the seasons, once I finish my season pass, I'll go play other games. And right now that game has been Cyberpunk 2077.
That's my backlog.
So good. Yeah, fantastic.
That's another 100 hours just waiting for me.
That's the thing. Like I'm doing so much stuff and I'm at the point where unfortunately I need to kind of like I reached this decision in Assassin's Creed Origins, where like I'm just gonna stop doing side quests. Same thing with Horizon Zero Dawn.
I can't.
I got like over 100 hours in the.
I go off on side quests. I start looking. I go off on side quests. I start looking for certain items. Next thing I know, I've spent 30 hours doing
cloak,
random
like the
shit.
fucking outfit, the fucking armor.
Yeah.
And shit.
So like I need to just. I got to the point where I'm about to enter this building, and the game told me this is the point of no return. Go do other stuff, unless once you pass through this doorway, this begins the the finale of the game. So I may just suck it up but I'm in the middle of like 3 different quest lines
listen,
and I really want to see what happens.
It is 100. It's so mind-boggling to try to comprehend how they were able to build a game like Elden Ring, because it's literally it's the most open thing I've ever seen. They drop you in this world with literally no direction, and it is so huge with so many options, with so many things to collect.
One area has 30 fucking
you have
bosses.
you have your fast travel points that just randomly point you in a direction, north, south, east, or west, and that's it. That's the only direction you get.
You gotta go find the maps for the areas, and
the first area has
dungeons, a million dungeons,
32 bosses between dungeons, roaming, and main bosses.
It's crazy. You'll get sucked in so quick.
When I was talking to James, you spend 6-7 hours playing the game, you're like, I fucking accomplished nothing.
Nothing. Exactly.
What did I do today? I didn't even progress. I did not even progress in this game. I did not progress the story whatsoever.
And it's a single player game. It's not even like an MMO. Yeah. You're not doing like pointless grinding.
So you can
go online and have
and summon other people to help you fight someone.
Yeah, but it's not.
But it's not. Yeah, that's the extent of that.
Yeah, they just hooked up a brain scanner. Oh, that's got to be a terrifying thought. Hook up a brain scanner to Hideo Kojima. That's terrifying.
Listen, that Death Stranding game is one of the stupidest fucking games I've ever seen in my life.
I've heard like one of 2 things. It's either
besides the fact that I hate the actor that the main character is based on because he seems like an asshole. He looks stupid, and I can't stand his fucking haircut.
Damn.
Oh boy.
But no, yeah, Elden Ring I'm going to be playing for quite some time. That my backlog's just going to keep growing and fucking growing.
Another game series that I like to bring up that is the writing of the main quest line is absolutely fantastic, and I've played through the first 5 of the games. I need to get through number
Yakuza?
6. Yes, I'm getting there, dude. I love the Yakuza series.
I knew where you were going.
It is so the main storyline. You need to play this. and it is definitely, it follows the same person. So it's a direct continuation in each iteration. But the first one came out in like 2005, I think, somewhere around there. So even with a remaster, it is still very dated because they did not update the gameplay. It is very dated. But that's okay. Because the main storyline is Japanese underworld. I mean, it's called Yakuza, right? So Japanese underworld. It's organized crime drama. It is the most hard-boiled, gritty crime drama, and very well written, very detailed. There's multiple storylines, all converging at the very end, and it's great. That is flanked by the most ridiculous shit I can absolutely imagine. Like the most ridiculous anime nonsense. It is on either side of this game. As soon as you veer off, you are off doing Are you guys big into anime? Do you watch anime?
Oh, I am. I watch a lot of anime too.
Okay, James. So all the weird, quirky craziness that you see of the kawaii nonsense, that's what happens.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
It as soon as you veer off that track, it becomes ridiculous, and it's so good.
Wow.
But like certain parts, like it makes sense in a way because you're just kind of like exploring this world, and weird, quirky stuff happens. My brother was watching me play Yakuza 5 when he came to visit one day, and by this time, the progression of this person's story, her character development is fantastic and it makes sense if you understand the history. But when you come in and you go from crime fighting mob bosses into doing a rhythm game dance simulator with a 16-year-old girl with some J-pop going on.
What the fuck? Okay.
Because leading up to that, you meet this girl for the first time in the first Yakuza game. Her name's Haruka. And she's like 6 years old, but you adopt her for reasons. As the game progresses, it's a crime story, okay? Reasons.
Kidnapped.
Not this time, I don't think. But as the game progresses and each release is launched, the same amount of time passes in real time as does in the game. So by the time you get up to this point, she continues to grow and age in real time.
I like how I like when they do that shit.
There you go. So by this time, she's gone from like being adopted by the 6th chairman of the Dojima clan in Tokyo, and she's trying to break away from that, and she's trying to pursue a career as a teen idol. So you play her storyline. She becomes a playable character by the 5th game. And
you gotta hook up a mic and sing, like American Idol game.
Well, no, it's just a rhythm game. You hit the button.
Oh, there's a rhythm. There's a rhythm you have to. There's a rhythm. It only involves the X button.
Oh god!
But like watching my brother was like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "Konnichiwa."
Konichi XXX.
That's hentai.
So I highly suggest the series. I believe it's on Xbox as well. I'm playing it on PlayStation.
I think it's on. Yeah, it's on everything.
I think it's on both. Highly suggest it because, like, working with the podcast, meeting a whole bunch of gamers online, and there just seemed to be like this little following of this Yakuza series. I had never heard of it. And then the first one was like one of the free games on PSN. So I'm like, meh, see what happens. So good. So good. Highly suggest it.
Nice. Reminds me of Saints Row a little bit. Kind of sounds like it. And just the ridiculousness.
Yeah, yeah. It's a toss-up. Saints Row will probably win out on the level of ridiculousness because that's their purpose. That's the point of Saints Row. But they put in effort. Another fun thing about Yakuza is it takes place in a fictional Tokyo, a fictional district in Tokyo. And you can go to these Japanese arcades. And in the arcades, because this is made by Sega, they have all the old school Sega games that you can play in the arcade, like the original Virtua Fighter. You can play inside of Yakuza.
Video games and video games.
That's
what a fucking age we're living in.
Yeah, I know. Right? That's just fucking insane. Breaking the fourth wall there. Huh? You're playing the game. You know what? I'm going to play another game while I'm playing this game.
There's just other like.
If you're extra baked or drunk when you're doing that, it's fucking.
You'll be wild. You're like, how did I get playing fucking Sonic?
The funny thing about that, if you go to someone who's not really into games like that, like I'm getting this game so I can play this game in it. It's like, well, why don't you just buy this game to play it?
Yeah, right.
I already have that game. I can just put that in my PlayStation.
What's the fun in that?
I'm buying this one so I can play this.
You know I know where it is. You ever get to where you stuck to like a side quest? It's so hard that you can't do it, but you shut the game off for an hour. You go get something to eat. You come back and you beat the first try.
Yeah,
that's the pause of the game. You go play fucking Pac-Man for a half hour. You come back, you beat your mission.
That's basically what it is. Like, I'm gonna go play pool. You're gonna go play darts or something. Oh god, that's hysterical. So in certain games, Yakuza particularly, you can go to different bars and you can play different bar games. So they'll have billiards, which is like, it's really shoddy in game. They also have like oh my god, the different like target that I'm completely blanking on the name of it now. Matching up tiles.
You're
gonna say
Zhangwang or something? Fucking goddamn it, I know too.
Not
it ends with ONG.
Mahjong.
Mahjong. Thank you.
Yes, you can play Mahjong, but the expectation is that you are of Japanese origin and you know how to play Mahjong.
Yeah,
and I'm like.
I kind of know. I played it. I'm not gonna lie. I played on my phone before, but I have no clue what the fuck I'm doing. You just match like sides of the fucking tiles and shit. You're like, I don't know how it's doing. It's like fucking It's like Tetris. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Some type of blend of Tetris and dominoes. I
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I'll go into these bars, and for certain like mission requirements, I'll play darts, and I used to play darts a lot during my bachelor days.
Me too. I was on a team at one point.
Oh, really? Okay, so you got definitely more into it than me.
I was at one of the bar leagues.
Oh, nice. Oh god, that's taking me back. So I'll go into this. They're like, "Oh, play the game cricket."
The good old days.
Yeah.
The good old days. Yep.
I mean, I love my wife.
Yeah, I know. Like, I can't do that shit no more, man. Yeah. No, I had fun. I was on a bowling league. I did a fucking dart league. They're fun to fucking do when you're like, especially because it's usually out of like a fucking Friday night. So you have to go to this bar and go play.
Oh yeah.
It's like
it's true. Like well, that's a quote from Deadpool. I'm a huge fan of Deadpool. I love the fucking movies. I love Deadpool.
They were
movies.
so good.
So good.
Deadpool,
I can't.
Yeah. Plus, yeah.
I can't wait to see what they do with Deadpool 3.
I'm not gonna lie, my penis fucking moved a second there when you mentioned the name.
I pray that I live long enough to see it.
James's penis.
Yeah, I think.
James's
he keeps asking. I keep telling no. I said maybe one of these days.
It's a back and forth conversation.
But I actually just saw
that's an off the air. That's a back and forth off the air conversation.
This is what happens when you have a podcast with Caucasians. That's Caucasian men.
It's all about the peen and Deadpool 3 here. That's
I just saw something recently where
Full frontal.
Hugh Jackman straight up said like he was done with Wolverine. Like
he was until Ryan Reynolds just broke him down.
And apparently he's like, the reason why I agreed to it is because I'll be able to beat the shit out of Ryan Reynolds on a daily basis.
So we're gonna have that. We're gonna have them fucking fighting each other.
Their fake feud is one of the best things I've ever seen in history.
Isn't it so good? It just keeps giving.
Did you see the video Hugh Jackman put out begging the Academy not to nominate Ryan Reynolds for for his musical movie? Not whatever. Yeah.
Spirited?
He begged them not to nominate Ryan Reynolds for whatever musical award it was up for consideration.
They have real life pranks.
And he said it was because he begged them not to do it because he had to work with him for the next year and he couldn't take Ryan Reynolds talking about how he would be nominated for that award.
That's such a friend thing to do. That's such like a good friend thing to do. Like I don't want to hear his fucking mouth when I got to work with him.
Hugh Jackman was in a legitimate musical.
He loves musicals.
Yeah,
man.
Musicals,
and he was good.
He was The Greatest Showman. That was a good.
That was a good movie.
I'm not a fan of musicals, but I liked it.
That's the only musical we all enjoyed that we've seen.
I think it was like an 8 around the board.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys watch? I did go see Hamilton.
I seen Hamilton.
Yeah,
Hamilton is like
too fucking.
I know the history side, but the music didn't catch me. There was like a couple. You're like, okay.
It was okay. It's just fucking long, man.
It was long. Some of the characters were funny, like Jefferson and.
Yep.
The music.
No, I like to joke and tell people
it was
that
catchy, but it wasn't. It was catchy, but I don't care about the story like that. So I'm just like,
I don't want to sit through anything that needs.
Aaron felt like he was in school. He was falling asleep. He was like, "Oh."
So my wife heard about this like as soon as it started becoming popular. It was on like CBS Sunday Morning or something like that, and she's like, "Hey, we enjoy going to like quirky off-Broadway shows. We used to go to Proctor's Theater quite often to see a lot of the because they'll have shows for like $10.
Yeah,
like
5 minutes away from me. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
He's like, you like offbeat things? Let's go check this out. I'm like, a hip hop musical about Alexander Hamilton. All right, let's go. It was awesome, and we ended up seeing it with the original cast.
Nice.
Oh, okay. You're the rare bunch.
Yeah.
After that, it went to other people doing it.
Right, and the tickets were still only like $70 a piece.
Okay.
So we got in there real early to see it all. I mean, it was a matinee, so we had to see one of the understudies for Lin-Manuel, the main guy.
Yep.
So we didn't see the main guy. We got his understudy, but like the rest of the cast was all the original cast. It was like amazing. But yeah.
Just got sidetracked from Hugh Jackman.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the prank, or it's like a real prank? They're like really good friends. I don't know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it was Ryan Reynolds or
It
was
might
it
be
Hugh Jackman? No, I think it was Ryan Reynolds. He had a party. He said you had to dress up as a certain thing, and Hugh Jackman is the only one. Everybody else was in regular clothes.
They have had their fake feud going.
He fucked them over. Hugh Jackman.
No,
Nice.
they took pictures and put it on Twitter and shit.
Yeah.
He's like, I got
Their
him.
fake feud has been going since the first time they got together in that X-Men movie where he was supposed to be Deadpool and he was Wolverine.
Oh, the
whichever
worst
one
Deadpool. That wasn't Deadpool. Fuck that character.
No.
So, like, I never really followed comics much. I
Same
just
here.
didn't when I was growing up. So I see Deadpool appear for the first time. I'm like, all right, that's a interesting
Yeah. No.
character. Okay.
It was not notable whatsoever.
For one,
Yeah,
he's
it's
marked
like,
up the
all
mouth.
right, so-
he got to talk. You don't sew his mouth shut. For one, he's not Cyclops. You don't have laser.
All right,
fucking
calm
eyes.
down. Calm down, Chief. Calm down.
I get angry, man.
Fucking
Don't fuck
calm
with
down.
Deadpool. Don't fuck with
Well,
Deadpool, man.
But,
Just
that's
calm
the
down.
thing. Then the actual character like comes into the mainstream and into the spotlight, and it's like this is nothing like the actual Deadpool character at all.
Nope.
The Deadpool movie comes out, and people are like, "What the shit?
Yeah.
What is it? What
The
was
real
that?"
Deadpool. Yeah, because Ryan Reynolds is a huge fan of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Clearly,
But and I think this is going to be his last movie doing it. I'm pretty sure.
You think
Oh,
that's
the-
the last one? I thought he was supposed to
Well,
be in the Secret Wars or something like that.
Oh,
Or maybe I was wrong. That guy could have just been a rumor.
So if he does more Marvel stuff, I imagine it's just cameos. But at this point, I think he has said this is his last.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Full-
hear that, but
Like,
I
I mean,
can
he's
see
fucking
it.
45 years old, man. He
Yeah,
can't
it's
keep
true.
doing it.
Yeah.
Nah,
That's
he
true.
can keep doing it.
At least he's getting 3 of them.
Hey
I
man,
just hope
kudos
they
to
don't
him
die
because
now.
he is still in great fucking shape. They take padding out of that suit to make it fit his body. They're not adding padding to that suit.
Yeah, he got
That's the
fucking
biggest
fit for
fucking
it, yeah.
compliment you can have as just a human
And
being.
by the way, he has the suit in his basement. He had an
If you put
interview.
on
He
a
said he sold that
superhero
shit.
suit to film a movie and they say they have to take padding out, you are doing life right.
Mm.
Just
Yeah.
like fucking Henry Cavill was wearing out the leather in the fucking Witcher suit
De-
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's so
Detective
goddamn big.
Pikachu was pretty funny. Ryan Reynolds was
I
Pikachu.
gotta see that.
You never seen it? It's pretty fucking. It's pretty
Free
funny.
Guy was great. I want to.
I never seen Free
Pikachu.
Guy. I was going to, and I
You
totally
haven't seen
forgot
Free
about it.
Guy? Oh, that was really
No,
funny.
I forgot about it.
I want to see Detective Pikachu actually.
Yeah, I seen that one.
I haven't seen either.
No, but listen, yeah, if you ever put on a costume and then somebody says we have to take some padding out of that for you, you have done things right.
Yeah, you're fucking.
Yeah,
You're like, motherfucker. This is Deadpool's body.
you're like
ripped. I don't
you're
need
goddamn right. You got to take some padding out.
shit.
Yeah,
He said that diet was hard though.
That's
Getting
his
ripped
job.
like that.
that's
Yeah,
the
it's
job,
his
man.
job. He said it was hard.
well, yeah. Well, I was gonna get paid 14, 20, however many million. Yeah, I'd start.
Yeah,
If you're
Yeah, I
getting
know,
paid
right?
millions of dollars and they give you
I'll be on a
personal
liquid
tra-
fucking diet.
Yeah,
I'll be
you have a
fucking.
personal.
I'll be 185 ripped. Fucking
Yeah,
right next
that is-
year.
That is your job to wake up, lift weights, do cardio. You have your personal trainer.
I'll be
and you're
getting
making
steroids.
millions of dollars.
14
Yeah.
million, man. I'll be fucking pumping steroids in me. I'm like,
I'd be sleeping right now.
Listen, you do that every day for 6 months. You
they're
make
like, we
enough
want you to
money,
play Hulk.
and
We're
then you
going to
just
try
do
not
whatever
use
the fuck you
CGI.
want.
We just need a really big dude. You're like, I got you. Actually, they actually could do that with that fucking dude Mountain from fucking Game of Thrones. That dude's huge.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Sir Gregor. What was it? He
Oh,
was.
Sir
fucking,
Gregor.
he's a monster.
Yeah.
Or even bigger. There's this fucking one dude. I don't know if he's a bodybuilder or something, but he has tattoos on his neck. This dude is like 6'9", and he's like fucking huge. He looks like fucking Hulk. He's so big. I was like, God damn.
One of the world's strongest
Higher-
men.
Hire his fucking ass.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You spray him green.
That's
Yeah,
that's
just
literally how.
like they did back in the day. The original Hawk with Ferrigno.
Yeah.
And isn't that how? That's
With his
literally the
Crocs.
story of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mhm.
That's
Like
it,
you
yeah.
don't talk. I lift things up. I put them down. You know,
Yeah,
like, don't
that's
don't
it.
talk, Arnold. Don't
Don't
talk.
talk and just pick up shit. Throw things.
Pick stuff up and set them down.
Carry
Yeah.
this fucking log of this tree to your
Yeah.
fucking cabin in Commando.
Yeah.
Just walk
Maybe
into the
like-
fucking forest with a fucking tree.
Give me like 16 lines per movie. If you remember, it'd be just repetitive shit you just say.
Yep. Like, I'll be back.
Yeah.
Get down. Get down. Yells every fucking movie.
There you go.
Well, this was fun, fellas.
This
Yeah.
was.
Oh, went a little long. Yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
well, went a little long.
This is gonna be fun. Though. I can't wait for UPSTATE thing. I think the UPSTATE thing's gonna be great.
Yeah,
But
that sounds really interesting.
Is there gonna be any podcasts there? You guys have any podcasts going on there?
So, probably not a table. And I'll just say that right now. Most likely not a table, but I am open to the option of issuing media passes. One of those deals. So again, we're only having 30-ish tables. I think the current floor plan allows for 32. The temporary floor plan that the Capitol Center presented to me for their proposal. So that's what we have, and I will be sending out at some point, once we get things finalized and sorted and approved with the rest of the team, sponsorship packages. So there'll be opportunities to be represented or have your name associated with the event. It all depends. Is it right for you to have a table, or depending on the table availability, would you be okay with having your name and logo associated in the program, the event program? This stuff is all up in the air right now. But again, we want to have this more focused on the business side of it, like the developers themselves. Like, we have oodles of geek culture cons and expos. Like Proctor's Theater just put on their fandom fest, right? Like everyone has these geek culture fests.
Aaron was part of it.
Yes, he was.
That's right. Yep, I came visit you.
Yes, he did.
Said hi to your wife. Said, hey, Francis. Hey, baby, what's up?
not to Aaron.
How you
no,
doing,
not to Aaron. No. Definitely said hi to Francis. And we have a few esports things. So in particular, the Hudson Valley GamerCon is a big collegiate esports tournament. So we have the Culture Fest, we have the esports. This is specifically for the business and the developers. So we're rounding it out. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So yeah, information will be coming. As soon as things get finalized and we're ready to share it, we will absolutely be, sending stuff out. We'll talk.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see. You got to come on here again and maybe bring some of the other people that are involved on. We'll talk about another video game.
We'll have a virtual happy hour or so right before.
Get Griff Kuba on it. Yeah. Chris from Griff Kuba joined. We was able to get us onto the Nerd Glasses podcast up in Balsa Spa area. They got a heck of a setup over there. If you're in that area, go check out Insane Games up in Malta. Great store, really friendly dudes, and the Nerd Glasses podcast is the name of the podcast. Definitely check those guys out.
Well,
Nerd Glass. All right.
Nice. Well, guys, we had a great time. Anthony, thanks
for coming. Thanks for coming. Man.
Quick plugs. So we are on Facebook and Twitter. We are on Instagram. We need to start posting on there. Thank you.
Look at you putting up the logo.
That's right.
I believe I follow you on Twitter. I need to go to Facebook.
All right. We're there. Yeah.
That's
so
right, Slacker.
at 1UPSTATE, exactly at the spelled. And and if you're watching this live stream or you're watching this episode, the contact information is in the
one of the millions of people out there. By the way, I think we had the same graphic artist do our logos, right?
We did. Lena Bain on Twitter. Yeah.
Shout out to her.
Yeah. It's good stuff. I mean, we had quite a few back and forths. I was a little particular of what I was looking for.
For one, I'm shocked.
I lied. I am following you on Facebook.
Okay. But once everything came together, like everything snapped into place, I was like, yes, this looks awesome.
Yep. Yeah. So shout out to her. She does good work.
Before we get out of here, though, guys, I forgot to mention. So next weekend is
next week's gonna be fun.
Oh boy.
So his birthday episodes and his heat shows are going to be doing
John Wick 1 and 2.
John Wick, baby.
Yep, John Wick 1 and 2 next weekend. So
the rise of the Keanu-sans.
Yeah,
Keanu-sans. I like that.
Somehow you can pull off a miracle and beg and cry and bride and wife, whatever you got to do. I don't know. You're a married man, or you have to do some stuff. You have children too, so it's even more.
Yeah. I like I said, I call it executive approval.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. To get that approval, never mind.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yep.
Clean the house? Yes. Did you do the dishes? Yes. You put the kids to bed? Yes. You still feel like doing the podcast? No, because I'm too tired. All right, there's your answer.
Oh man.
Executive approval.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is
Fucking Keanu time, baby.
This is a great
Hell yeah.
so. I remember
Outta
watching John Wick the first time, and I'm like, "This is stupid. Like, it's just pointless." But then, like, as other people watch it, I'm like, "Oh yeah, maybe I need to go back and revisit
That
this."
fucking
And now
blew up, man.
it's
I've
just
never seen it.
Just the
It
action,
leans-
man.
it leans into the ridiculousness,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
and it owns it. And
Mhm.
good for
Like
you.
I said, you got to
All just because you killed this fucking dog.
you got to make a
pissed them off.
decision, and you have to commit. Once you do that, you can't go wrong.
Everybody thinks it was
Well,
about
you
the
can.
car. They took his
Hey,
car.
you-
Like, no, it's
you-
his fucking
you
dog,
can
man.
go
You killed the
wrong.
dog.
It's absolutely about the dog. It is absolutely.
By the
about
way, I
dog.
take extra offense that it was a beagle.
Oh yeah, you do. You have a beagle. That's
Yeah,
right.
you do. How are the pups?
Yeah.
How's the beagle, Chris?
The pup is good.
Don't like Aaron.
No, it doesn't.
No one
No,
likes
it doesn't
Aaron.
like Aaron. And you know what? And Aaron's brought this up.
No
Listen,
one
the
likes
dog.
Aaron.
My dog's not racist. It is a specific problem with you. I told you my cousin. My cousin has married a fine gentleman from Kenya who is a little darker than you, and she was best. My dog was best friends with him in 5 minutes. So this is specifically a you problem.
Specifically.
Yeah. That's
Right,
just
you know what?
something.
I
What's this?
believe this because my friend's dog hated me in particular for whatever reason. Like they knew when I showed up at a gathering or something because the dog would lose his shit. And it's like, oh, Anthony's here. Don't know why.
Really funny if that's
That-
what
That's
If that's
son of
what
a
it's
bitch in
Exactly.
particular.
My new cousin is darker than you, and my dog loves him. So
So what I'm getting at this is I feel like the way that the dogs are acting, the way that your friends really feel about you, like this motherfucker's here again. I'll bite him this time if you need me to. I'll bite him.
if the dog doesn't like you, it's because it's heard me bad mouthing you behind the scenes.
Probably. The dog, when I was at your house, the dog would just keep looking at me. It didn't bark or anything. It just give me the eye. Like,
Yeah,
who are you?
he's like, my dog was like, just like, who? When he's looking at James, like, who the fuck's that?
yeah, who's that?
That's
Hey,
Ugh.
COVID is finally receding. You know, the plague is finally receding. When are we gonna have a big old housewarming swinger party? I mean, gathering at
key
Chris's.
party. I believe they're called key parties.
Okay. Pineapple
Sausage party. We'll have a game called Hide the Sausage.
A speedo party. I'll wear my banana hammock.